Hello everyone, I hope you're well. We've got a brand new one-day special for you. Very, very excited about this. Now, with the one-day special, we launch here on Hochanda 6 o'clock every night, and it's a discounted price for 24 hours. Or whilst the stocks last. Now, this is a continuation of a previous one-day special. It's the next set of nesting dies from lovely John Lockwood, the boy next door, Crafts 2, and this gives you some this really is incredible. Mathematically correct nesting and layering for your card making. Why is that important? Well, when you want to build up your layers, when you want to build up your creations, you want to make sure that they are mathematically correct, so your designs look extra special. We've got some new shapes for you. We have got your rectangles, if you want to go for those. Now, with your rectangles, you have got your smooth plain rectangles, and you've also got your stitch dot rectangles too. Now, these will work together, so you can have a smooth layer and a stitched dot layer, and then a smooth layer and then a stitched dot layer if you want to, or you can go just for the smooth or to go for the dots. There are 24 in the smooth and 12 dies in the dots, but remember, mathematically correct, which means there's a 1/4 inch between each one. How precise is this going to be for you? So that's one option in your one-day special, £39.98, saving £6 on that price for the 24-hour period, or of course whilst stocks last. I'll show you some samples in a moment, but I do want to tell you what else we have on offer as well. We have got the ovals. Now, with the ovals, it's the same principle. You've got the smooth edge and you've got the stitch dot ovals as well. These will work nesting and layering as you go, or you can use just the smooth or the stitch dots. Now, with these are going to make, if you just take the centre parts out, some excellent labels, some excellent backdrops to your sentiments on your cards, as well as being able to give you that wonderful framework around your designs as well. So those are the two options in your one-day special. 009961 is your item number. It's available on FlexiBuy, everyone. £19.99 today. Then if you're a Freedom member, there's no P&P to pay. Everything will be sent out to you, but the price will be divided into 2 months. It's a great way to buy, it really is. Now, those are your two options on your one-day special. We've also got some hexagons for you. Yeah, this is a great shape to work with, and you can do many, many different designs, whether it's card making, or whether you are making a beautiful wreath in the shape of a hexagon. You've got the smooth edge and you've also got the stitched dots as well. 41 dies in total when it comes to your hexagons. 2 payments of £22.49. Think beyond just card making with these, with any of the nesting dies that we've got for you. Think beyond your card making, think about your home decor, think about boxes that you can make as well, not just with the hexagons, but also with the rectangle and the ovals as well. 710672 is your item number if you want to go for your hexagons. Right. If you can't choose, if you're thinking to yourself, I want the rectangles, I want the ovals, and I want the hexagons, do you know what? I just want them all. We, and lots of you have already found this on the website. Oh my goodness. Already 20% of the stock has gone of the complete collection that we've got for you today. So that's the 2 rectangles, your 2 ovals and your 2 hexagons. You're carrying over your savings and you're saving an extra £15. That's why 115 dies in total. Oh my goodness, if you're a Freedom member, it gets even better. £98.95, but guess what? With that saving of £25.99, you could split that 3 ways, yes. So you can pay for this over 3 months, but we'll send everything together. So all of your creativity, your inspiration can come pouring out when you get these home. Look at that wonderful sample that we've got there. You can build up layers, you can build up patterns with these as well, and use them in so many different ways. It really is an amazing deal. Remember, 3 payments of £32.98, 20% of the stock already gone. What are we on? 4 minutes past 6 o'clock. Oh my word. Right, now you know all of the deals. Do you know what we got? Right here on Skype, we've got our wonderful John. Hello, the boy next door.
Hello, you're right, Auntie Janice.
Yes, I'm all right, thank you. How are you, John? How's Sam?
I'm very well, and he's very well as well. He's just reclining in the chair behind me.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought he's looking very well, just sat there. How are you, John? Are you keeping safe and well?
We are, yes, we're keeping well, we're keeping very safe, doing an awful lot of crafting and an awful lot of drawing and designing.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm so glad you are, because these really are amazing and we're very busy for them already, John. But I know you're very proud of these designs because they are mathematically correct. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's one of the things that's really annoyed me in the past. I've had nesting dies, and they're never actually calculated mathematically. So I make cards that are 7.5 by 5.5, or 7 by 5, or I make 8 by 8 cards, or 5 by 5. And finding the right dies, first of all, to fit those is a nightmare, but also trying to find the mats and layers for them. So when we decided to do the complete redesign on the Presscut nesting dies, I said the best way, and the thing I want to do with them, is to make sure every single one fits on an inch measurement, and then every subsequent die is a quarter of an inch larger. So if I bring in, I've got a little example here. So if I bring in these rectangles, and I'm sorry, I've done this in white on white, but you've actually got your first one there is a sort of half an inch. I think it's 2 inches. But within here, you've got 6 inch by 4 inch, 5 inch by 7 inches, 6 inches by 8 inches, and all the layers in between. And this is using the stitch as well. So if I turn it round,
yes,
that's all the ones left over.
Wow.
When I've cut all of the ones on the other side. So you get so many combinations. And to me, to think that I can just grab a card blank that I've got in my stash and know that the die is going to fit, oh, I need a mat for that. Oh, it's okay, there's the die. And the other thing I love about the rectangles, and it's really important for me, these are what I'd call the UK size. So this is just slightly off A5. This is the standard sort of golden ratio we use in the UK for a rectangle. So I wanted them to be mathematically right, but also based, I know we were talking earlier, Janet, over Messenger. And if, like, you're old enough to remember going to the chemist and getting your photographs, they were always 6 inches by 4 inches. So that size is in here. It's the standard sort of UK sizes that we use. And I just felt that was so important.
Yeah, it really is. And do you know what I'm thinking now, John, as well? Not just for card making, but for all of those photographs that are in my drawers, they're in packets that I don't get out, I don't look at. I can now actually get borders for them at my cost, just by getting my favourite papers that I've bought. We've got some great papers on the show, by the way. And I can make my own frames as well as matting and layering. I think that is incredible.
Yeah, it works really well. I've actually got in the craft cave a photo of a friend of ours, Mr. Keeler, and it's an old school photo that we managed to clip from him, and I've been able to make the perfect frame for it, and it fits because it fits in relationship to how we actually look at things and how photographs are printed. It's so useful. And of course, if you're scrapbooking and using old photos, these will create frames for it, but they'll also create mats and layers.
Yeah, they will. And also the smaller ones in there are great for labels or putting sentiments on or creating labels for gifts. So there's so many different ways that you can use these dies, not just for card making, but for home decor and enhancing maybe gifts and presents that you're giving to people as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, don't forget, the dies are high quality steel dies. So these will cut things like felt. So you can use them slightly in your home furnishings and things as well. I mean, I know the hexagons tessellate perfectly. So you could use those, you could use those with felt or with other papers and cards. Get some amazing looks from them. They're not just for card making. I mean,
Perfect. Well, John just had a little bit of a freeze frame moment there, but we're not having freeze frame moments here on Hochanda because, oh my goodness, over a quarter of the stock has gone of that complete collection where you're getting your rectangles, your ovals and your hexagons as well. It's an incredible deal, and you can divide the cost over 3 months, so it makes it affordable, and it means you've got them, they're in your craft room, they're ready to go. You can start creating those wonderful traditional sizes in there as well. So think about all of those photographs that you've got maybe in a drawer somewhere. We've got time to get them out, we've got time to have a look at them, but it's also a case of building up some incredible patterns on your cards, not just framing pictures, not just framing your sentiments, actually creating patterns using the mat and layers. And this is a lovely example here. It's very on trend, very modern this, isn't it? And you'll see with this particular sample, you've got the stitch dots right there, but you've also got the smooth edges as well. So they work really well. I'm thinking maybe using something like that to make a Celtic style design. Yes, you can do. That'd be really nice. And then framing your work, the traditional framing of your work with your cards as well. It makes it different. It makes your design stand out as well. But as John said, making them mathematically correct gives you the confidence to cut out several of those mats and layers to make them match so they're easy on the eye. And they will work in all of your die cutting machines because the largest one is the A5 in size. And again, if you just wanted to have that smooth edge, you can use them together. You'll see we've got the stitch dots just there, and then we've got the smooth edge and then the stitch dots. So they look really nice when you start to mix them up. But not just card making. Here's a box using the dies and then using, of course, the edging around there to make that look extra special. How about making a wreath? Something a little bit different. Rather than a circle, have a hexagon, which looks really nice. So you can start to think of all the different designs that you can build and create to make your card making geometric, which is very, very on trend at the moment, isn't it? And very, very different as well. We are incredibly busy for that complete collection. 30% of the stock has gone in 12.5 minutes. We do have some demonstrations coming up as well, so it's going to be really interesting for you to see what John has been doing with these dies. If you do want to get them, it's a good idea to pop them into your basket now, but also to check out. If you leave them in the basket whilst you're watching the demonstrations, if the demonstration is around about 10 minutes long, for example, if you don't check out your basket, after 10 minutes the items come out of your basket automatically. It's just how the system works, just to be fair for everyone else jumping online. You can, of course, give us a call, 01733 62000. That's the number at the bottom of the screen. But do be quick because we're very busy for that full, complete collection. The choice, as always, is going to be yours as to what you buy. But when you do, have a look at the website and have a look at the other sets we've got for you on the show and have a look at the card stock because you might want to go for that alongside your one-day special because you can divide the cost of anything now that you put into your basket. So do go and have a look at that. Right, as promised, we've got some demonstrations coming up from our lovely John Lockwood. Let's take a look at the first one. Enjoy.
In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use both the double stitch dot rectangles and the plain rectangles to make a set of frames that come in and give you this beautiful depth and dimension really simply. So to start off, I'm going to need to use the stitch dot and I'm going to take the first die, so number 1, I'm going to take number 3 and I'm going to take number 5, and by missing a die each time it gives me a beautiful frame around 1/2 inch. So it gives me a 1/2 inch difference if I show you on the board so that I get a beautiful framed level. So really very simple like that. And we get that beautiful framing in between, and I'll be using the plain dies in between those to actually give me the next layers down. So I'm going to take the next die down in the set, which will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, number 11 and number 12, which as you can see fit perfectly inside there. So I've already arranged first the dies that I'm going to use. Now to speed it up slightly, I've taken the first die in the set And I've cut that into the white linen card to give me my base. I've then matted that with the next die up in the plain set to give me the blue, and I've popped this onto a plain blank card made from black card. So that's what I've done with the first one. With the next die, which is number 3, I've cut out the same size rectangle in the white, the soft blue and the black. And I find sometimes dealing with rectangles, because of getting the spacing, it's easier to do the squares first. So what I will do is to take the next die down that I've already laid out. So this is die number 5, and I place that evenly all the way around. If you're struggling for placement, take the next die up in the set, and you can use that to give you a really nice guide for placing. So we take that and we tape that down, take away the next die up, and we'll run that through our die cutting machine. And when that's done, this is the piece that we're going to get. So we get, as you can see, that beautiful sort of 1/2 inch frame all the way around with the beautiful stitch dot detail on both sides. So next layer down is blue. So I want to take the next square that I've already cut and get them exactly in the same place. And I'm going to move down to the next die on my board, which is now going into the planes. And I want to frame that in the center to give me a nice border. So I want to do that and just take that down, get it even, and we'll run that through and cut that. And I'll bring in one that I've already made. And as you can see there, perfect framing all the way around. And we then repeat it. So I take the black layer, make sure I've got these down and nice and straight, which they are. Take the next die down again from the plain set to keep this nice thin border going, and place that in exactly the right place of where I want it. And we tape that down. Once we've done that, remove that frame and we cut that one. And again, here's one I made earlier. Now what I've done is to take each of these frames and I've put some double-sided adhesive tape on each one to give me a nice layer of dimension between each different level. And I feel this really helps to give a beautiful framed sort of mounted effect. So we're going to take off the white and very carefully match the edges, match the center, and put that on. And we can see there we get that beautiful frame going from white to blue, but nothing on the outside. So we'll turn that one over and we'll take the foam tape off this one as well. So just remove these 4 pieces, and we're going to do exactly the same onto the black. And the great thing about having nesting dies, and nesting dies like this that are mathematically correct, is that all your mats and layers fit exactly. So if you can see there, we pop that on and we've got the perfect frame going from black to soft blue to white. Now, if I bring in the card blank we made, you can see here, we've got exactly the same amount of space to this white layer here. So it gives you perfect what I call a step or a mount. So that was obviously using die 1. Die 2 would be there. That's die 3. Die 4 would be there. And there we've got die 5. So you get the perfect interspersing of your layers. Now, what I've done is taken the piece that fell out from the middle of the white frame, and I've just embossed it. So I've just given it a light sort of spotty heart embossing on here. It probably doesn't come across very well because it's white. I'm going to turn over my frame set because I don't believe in wasting card that's come out of the middle. It's silly to actually emboss a whole piece just to fill this in and then have to trim it round. So what I'm going to do is take this and place this on, and because the black frame is smaller, you can see that it sticks on exactly all the way around, still leaving me with exposed foam tape. So there I've got my beautiful centre, and I just want to measure that up, get that right and even, and just stick that down. And to finish off, I've done a very similar technique using the double stitch or the stitch dot hexagon with the plain hexagons in the black and the blue, and I've added a few of the smaller hydrangea flowers that we've got on the show as well. So I'll take the foam tape off there. We'll fit that nicely into the centre. And there we go. A really simple card that just plays with colours, sentiment in the centre for any occasion, and it just works, and all the framing and layering is exactly mathematically correct.
So satisfying, isn't it, knowing that it's right every single time. I've just picked up this sample actually. This is lovely, and this is using the ovals to make and create a butterfly. And again, because you've got the exact size, it's going to look absolutely perfect each and every time. Love that. Isn't that pretty? The whole collection, we're so busy. No way, sorry, I'm not saying no way to you. You know when you get updates in your, well, you probably don't know what it's like to get updates in your ear, but I get updates in my ear. I've got a little earpiece here, and oh, was that right? Half the stock of the one day special, nearly half the stock in 20 minutes. Oh my word, you are taking advantage of paying over 3 months because you can divide the cost into 3. You get the 3 sets of the stitch dots and the smooth in each and every set, and you're getting that great discount as well. Freedom members, there's no P&P to pay, you get the extra discount. So become a Freedom member today if you want to. It's a why not deal really. And it's 88888 in your basket. All of these can be yours. So you can start building and creating and unleash that creativity, and that's what we love about John Lockwood. Not only is he a great teacher, but also he's fantastic at bringing and delivering such amazing products like these. Right, we've got more items on the show. We've got some linen card. This is a pick and mix, and you can choose any 4. There's 10 sheets per colour, and you get 40 in total. Do like these colours. Ooh, which ones would I pick? Any 4? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Well, dare I say it? I know it's April, but you crafters do start your Christmas crafting quite early. Just saying. You've got your green, you've got your red, maybe a bit of blue for your Christmas. If I was going for colours now, I think I would choose the, is that lilac? Grey. It's a mouse grey. That's interesting. I like that. And I'd go for the blue, and I'd go for the yellow, and I'd probably go, ooh, the black. I'm quite into black card at the moment, and backgrounds and stenciling on them. Yeah, I'd go for the black. Just as a contrast to the lighter colours. Oh my word, these are lovely, and linen card is so lovely to work with as well, and it produces great cards and layers for your designs. You can see there that lovely texture, almost like, just the same as linen fabric. That would make a gorgeous backdrop, wouldn't it? Really would. Even if you're using some of the dies to cut out for your sentiments as well, or butterfly wings if you're using the ovals. Yeah, that'd look great. Absolutely. Right, 964 983, £11.99. That's a great deal for 40 sheets of paper. And if you're going for any of this with your one day special, remember you can divide the cost 3 ways if you're going for that complete collection that we've got for you tonight. Well, the collection that we've got for you tonight. Right, so that's your linen card. Do we know the GSM on these? I'd say 240. Say 200 earpiece. I'd say 240 for those. If you want to get hold of those, and if you wanted to get more than one set, you're more than welcome to do so. The price will just change. So if you wanted to go for 8, for example, then the price will change accordingly for you. But that's your pick and mix price, £11.99. Now, something else that we're always busy for, and I've got my cheeky little eye on these. I need some inks. Something I don't have at the moment, so these would be really handy. So what you get here is your pigment ink and your dye ink. That usual price of £33.98, reduced by £4. And these are great because you get so many different colours for your money, and each and every one will last quite a while as well. They may be small, but you've got lots of ink in there to start using. They're 2.5 centimetres in size. So if you've got any of the storage from Cool Cats Crafts, for example, they have special storage for the smaller Izinks or Izinks. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, it's what you do with them that really counts. So you've got some really nice metallics in there I've just seen as well. Some nice colours there for your vintage distress looks as well as your brights and your metallics. I think they're metallics, yeah. £29.98. That's a great price. Remember, if you're going for these in conjunction with your one-day special, if you're treating yourself, you can divide the cost of this into 3. So it's only another £10 on your flexi buy if you're going for your one-day special, the big collection. 705 640 is your item number if you want to go for these. Lots of colours in there. Superb. Now, they will go with the stamps and die sets that we've got for you. Now, your first one, I'll bring the details up on the screen for this. This is your Bee Balm. This is your stamp and die set. So once you've stamped, you can cut them out. So you can just use the die if you want to. You don't have to stamp them before you cut them out. You could just die cut them if you want to. Now, if I just grab the board here. So this is your, well, I got 2 here or 1? Just the one. Just the one. So you've got your dies here. So what you can do with these, if you just want to choose the flower like that, you can do. But this gives you a way of layering up your flower. So you start with the larger one, and then you cut out the others, and then you just layer that flower up, which is going to give you that 3D effect, which is beautiful. But if you wanted to, you could just use one of them. But with these, because you're getting the stamp as well, the stamp, if I bring the stamp up here, that lines up perfectly with your die cut, because you use the corners on there with the corners as you see on your stamp, and that's why you've got the blacked out detail there, the blacked out detail there, because your die lines up perfectly. So if I get that over there, she says, that way round, Janice, that way round. Yep, there you go. So that lines up absolutely perfect. So you get that perfect cut each and every time. And there's your buzzy bees on the side. 557062 if you like the look of that one. We've got the same principle for the rest of the die and stamp sets coming up for you. £25.99. Now, something always popular is the poppy. It's a beautiful image, isn't it? It really, really is. £22.98. This will get you the blousey poppy die and stamp. And again, these will line up perfectly. Do love poppies, absolutely gorgeous. And this actually has been used with your one-day special. Actually, it's that way round. It's pretty, isn't it? It's beautiful. Now, your poppy doesn't always have to be red. You could do blue poppies if you want to. And then the next one, if I bring this up, is going to give you an idea of exactly how they work. Now, that's beautiful, using poppies on a tag like that. Isn't that lovely? But you can see with your stamp, then take your die, and then you cut them out. They're absolutely perfect each and every time. Even the smaller elements, you can cut those out as well. What a great investment. 325252 is your item number, just £22.98. Remember, if you do want to go with these in conjunction with your one-day special, then you can divide the cost of these as well. That's with your collection. Right, next up, you've got your camellia. Love this. Again, you've got the same principle. Excuse me. So the corners of your die, I'm going to take this off again actually and line it up with the stamp. Where's the stamp? Here we go. So here's the stamp. Stamp them out first of all in the colour of your choice with your eyes inks or any other inks that you have, and then you place that over, send that through your die cutting machine. Do you see how just lining that up there and there, that's the only 2 things you need to line up. So you don't have to jiggle them about and think, oh, is that on there properly? No, you just simply go for that end, go for that end. Once it's lined up perfectly, these will cut out perfectly as well, giving you sensational cards to make, beautiful floral designs, perfect time and time again. £22.98 if you want to go for the camellia, and that gets you the stamps and it gets you the dies as well. Such an ingenious method, isn't it? It really, really is. Right. We've got the orchid, such a beautiful, delicate flower. A very expensive flower as well if you are to buy orchids. This now is going to give you the chance to make paper orchids. The same principle with the die, and then being able to stamp and cut out perfectly and precisely each and every time, just by lining those two up. It's absolutely perfect. And what a lovely oriental flower as well, to give you that gorgeous, and I think modern design. Very, very modern. £22.98, 9 stamp images in total. 036798 is your item number. I think these would go really well with some of that linen card as well. Now we've got the hydrangea for you. And let me show you some samples. Same principle. Take your stamps and then take your die plate and place it over. And the great thing is you're cutting all of them out at the same time. You don't have to use all of them at the same time. You could just have some in a pot to bring out and put onto your designs if you want to. I mean, you might just want to use that particular flower on its own, but this gives you a chance to build up those layers so it looks very, very realistic and 3D. So remember, you take your stamp, you stamp out, and then you take your die. Let me just grab the die again if you have just joined us, just to let you know how this works, because it's so easy. It's so easy. You line up just the two places, make sure that that's there, lined up in the corner, and the other one in the corner, and that's going to cut out precisely each and every time. Genius, isn't it? 545072 is your item number if you want to go for your hydrangea. Right, you can see all of those on the website. We've now got another demonstration for you from our lovely John next door, so enjoy this.
In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the rectangle nesting dies, the plain ones, new from Presscut, to make a beautiful card just simply using the shapes within there and working with colours. So just to go through the dies are mathematically correct and have been done on a UK rectangle size, which means that in here you have a 5x7, you have a 5.5 by 7.5, you have a 6 by 4 and so on, because each individual die is a 1/4 inch larger than the one that precedes it. So we start with a 1/2 inch here, 3/4 inch, inch, 1.25 inch, and so on all the way through the set. And these are designed to fit in your standard A5 or 5x7 cards. I have a tendency to do 5.5 by 7.5 as I like a nice little border, which is what I've cut here. So what we're going to do is really simple. I'm going to use 3 colours. So I've got 3 colours of card. So I've got Crafts 2 card in white linen, black linen and Christmas red linen. And I'm going to lay them out on my desk, and I'm simply going to choose whichever one to go with first. The way I've laid them out is red, so I'm going to put the first die on the red, the second die on the black, the third on the white, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning. So I'm going to take the 4th die, and that's going to go onto the red. The 5th die will go onto the black, like so, and the 6th die will go onto the white. Now I will continue doing that, going up in size and changing the colour each time until I've filled my paper, until I've got every layer that I possibly want. Run those through the machine, so 3 cuts through an A4 machine, and that will give you all the pieces you need to perfectly intersperse them. A bit boring to watch me do that, so I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to show you the pieces I've already cut. So I've started at the beginning, and I did black, red, white. So I've stuck these together in black, red, white. You can see there that 1/4 inch, which is giving you a beautiful 1/8 inch all the way round. I've then gone to the next size, and this time I've gone black, red, white, black. I've gone to the next size up, and I've gone red, white, black, red. So you can see here, if I map them together, they fit perfectly and come all the way into the centre. I've then got a larger piece here, and I've gone white, red, black, white, and I've skipped a couple of levels just so that I get a nice little border frame in that. You could use those for another piece of creation. I've actually got one of the pieces here, so I'll keep this and I'll use that for something else. So very simple to put together, but I think it really is effective and shows that sometimes you don't need big background dies to make an interesting card that people will look at and go, oh, I like that mix. So I put foam tape on the layers So I'm just going to put this evenly on this 7.5 by 5.5 inch card blank, and this could easily be a 7 by 5 or a standard size. And I'm then going to take the next layer down, and I've got an option. So I could place it across as I did in the original, or, which I'm going to do this time, I'm going to place it there, and you can see where I missed two of the levels, a black and a red in there to get that set right, to give me that little bit of framing. I'm going to move down to the next piece, and again, this time I've glued 4 pieces together. Each one but the smallest is 4 pieces, and I'm going to move that one across. And you can see there that the size of this rectangle matches exactly the width of this rectangle here. So it looks as if it crosses exactly. And of course that's possible because of the way the dies have been designed. And we can put this, and I think I'm going to go in the centre with that one. Every time I do this I make it a little bit different. And then it's just a case of either stamping a sentiment on, or what I'm going to do is, I've got one of the poppies, the blousy poppy dies that we've got on the show, and I've made this in the Craft Artist Flower moulding foam, should I say, in red, edged with a little bit of black. So we'll pop a couple of these on, which are the rose leaves. We'll pop our poppy on, and we'll finish with one more leaf, just using hot glue for speed. Down there. And a very simple but effective card finished. If I bring in the original, you can see them side by side using virtually the same materials, but exactly the same shapes, exactly the same sizes, and exactly the same colour combination, and how we get 2 completely different looking cards, but really simply just using the rectangle.
Guess what? As if by magic, here it is. Here is the sample. It really is effective, isn't it? And I found another sample as well that will highlight exactly what you can do with these dies. Take a look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? I love that. What a great effect to have with that stamped image going all the way through, but then cut with the die set. I like that very, very much. And that is by, it doesn't say who that's by. Oh, it does. It's Mrs. Duck. It's by Mrs. Duck. That's lovely. I really like that. And it really shows off the math that has been used to make sure that they're equally placed. Love that. We've been so busy. Over half the stock has gone of the collection that we have for you. It's a great price, and Freedom members, you get that extra discount. If you're not a Freedom member and you want to take advantage of that extra discount, if you become a Freedom member right here, right now, you will get that discounted price. And then of course you get all the benefits of being a Freedom member. You get the whole complete set that we have available to you. The one-day special, you can choose between the rectangles or the ovals. Details of those will be at the bottom of your screen. You could go for the hexagons separately, but you know what? So many of you are going for the whole set, and why not? Why not? You know that the rectangles are going to be absolutely perfect for you. You know that the ovals are going to serve you so well. And you know that the hexagons is a great shape to use with all of your different cardstock. You can use these for your felt as well. So imagine the possibilities of placing up your designs on your cards as well. And it does make a difference, doesn't it? It really does. You could have your sentiment on a card, but when you've got it layered up, especially with that stitch dot detail in there as well, I mean, that is a lovely sample. It really is. I think geometric shapes at the moment are very, very on trend. So to get that right in a set of dies is absolutely perfect. And you can see there with the layers on the front, isn't that different? And then just opening that up, and you can see that you've got the sentiment on the hexagon in the centre there, but you've got that stitch detail which makes it look a little bit different each and every time. Another sample here, let me pop that one down if I may. I do like this. You're going to have so much fun playing with the shapes. Let me get this, there you go, round the right way. You're going to have so much fun playing with your shapes. I mean, that's fascinating, isn't it? It's almost like it's been quilted on because you've got that lovely stitched effect on there. So if you know somebody that's into their soft crafts, I think a card like that would be absolutely perfect for them. With the different designs, let me pick this one up. This is lovely, using your ovals as well. Using one to give that aperture to show the main feature of your card. So you've got that lovely image there. And then taking another size and just putting it on its side. It's absolutely perfect. You know that it matches completely. So it's not two different sets of dies. This is the same set of dies. So you know that mathematically they're going to be absolutely spot on. Even though they're different sizes, they're going to match absolutely perfect. And with that, that's why you can make cards like this with that butterfly, which is gorgeous, isn't it? It really is. Let's show you some other samples that we've got for you, especially building up the layers and making shapes. I do like this idea with the ovals, and you can see there, building up the shapes that is on there, which is excellent. So 3 payments of £32.98. Freedom members, that's your price. You're saving even more by being a Freedom member, so it's a good idea to become a Freedom member today. But I do need to tell you that over half the stock has gone. Over half the stock has gone, and that's in 40 minutes of going live. We're very, very busy. And we're busy across Europe and America. Yes, we've started to stream and send to America again now. So we're very happy about that. Right, we've got some more demonstrations coming up for you now from the lovely John. Here's another one, so enjoy.
In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use a combination of the stitch dot ovals and the plain ovals to make this beautiful buckle card, and how all the different shapes interact together. So I'm going to use a combination, as I said, of the stitch dot and the plain in the ovals. And again, as with all of the new sets from Presscut, these are mathematically correct, and each individual die in the plains is designed to be 1/4 inch larger than the one that precedes it. The stitch dot shapes have been designed to fit on these measurements and also inside, so there is always a matten layer for every one of the stitch dot. So to start with, we're going to choose our sizes. I've already cut some pieces, but I want to show you how I've done this. So I've taken 2 dies that match together. So I could go with this size, which is the last 2 but 1 in the set. But I'm going to go up a size. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to go die number 9 and die number 10 in the set. And if you can see, they fit together perfectly to create us an oval. So once I've selected those, I then want to choose the mats for these. So I go into my plain set and I select 2 dies that will give me nice mats and layers, and there'll always be a mat and layer in there. So that one, and I think, should we guess with that one? Let's try it out, the one I've done, slightly bigger. Let's go down a set and make it a little bit smaller. You can see there, if I bring in another board, very easily how they go together. So I have that shape, which will map perfectly for that one. That one will create for that one, and the smaller one. So I have my combination of 4. So I want to take out 2 with the pattern, leaving the plain, and I want to cut this plain shape 6 times in white card, and I want to cut these 2 together 6 times, but 4 times I've done it in this card for a yellow and twice in the green. And once you've got those pieces, you simply stick together the green on top of the white. You can see there you're getting the perfect border. So I've already done that, so we move these dies to one side, and I'm going to bring in my piece. So as you can see here, I have 2 green and 3 yellow, so it's actually 5 pieces. So we've got those together, and I'm going to start arranging those on my back. So I've just cut a piece of card and embossed it to give me a nice background. So first of all, I want to decide on my center. So I'm going to go with the yellow, and I want to place that roughly where I want it to be. I'm then going to have 2 yellow intersecting with this. So I'm going to put I would have my yellow in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to have 2 intersecting. So I'm going to take my green and I'm going to slide my yellow into it, or from the other side, just to make sure they raise. So I've taken a little bit of foam tape, put it on one of the edges, and I'm just going to slide that one through so that there I have got the ovals crossing. I've done that again on the second side, so I've got exactly the same pattern, and this time I've put some foam tape on. So I'm going to turn that over and pop some foam tape on, as it's quite important when you're doing this to make sure you get it in the right place. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is raised correctly. So I want it here on the base, and then I want it separately either side of the yellow. And the reason for this is I'm going to thread ribbon through, so I need to make sure I'm leaving a space for the ribbon to go through. So we'll take our tape off, there we go, and I'm simply going to mark the central point. I'm going to place down one side, then I'm going to place down the second side until I get those to meet and make sure that they're nice and even. So if you need to move it slightly, don't be afraid to. And it's at this point that the pieces lock into place. And if you can see there, they're all locked. But these two are open and these two are open. So now I'm going to take a piece of ribbon. I've got a piece of green ribbon here, and I'm going to come in through this little end here. Let's go in through this side first. So under, twist it round to the right way, over. I'm going to go under here, so I may need to lift this up slightly. And again with the other side, just to get that through. There we go. So we're kind of weaving the ribbon in between. There we go. I'll just pull that straight. Okay. So once I'm happy I've got that on one side straight, let's push those back down. It's going to go over this green and come back under this last yellow here where we left it loose. So our ribbon is now putting our buckle together, going under, over, under, over, under. So I'm just going to turn that round, and I've put some foam tape on here already. So I'm just going to open that up and secure down my ribbon on that side. And a good tip for getting this even is take one side and pull it till it's even and it matches where that ribbon is. That way on the front it'll be completely straight. So we'll trim that excess off. And what I've done here is just made a little bit of a card blank using the light yellow and the light green and the white Crafts 2 linen card. So we'll take our pieces off. Take our foam tape off so we can just stick this on. Okay, so we're just going to place that on nice and even. And then we've got our last oval, which I've put foam tape all the way around. And I'm going to use that just in the centre so that we've got that extra little ribbon in there. And I'm going to hide that joint by simply adding a little bow just in the centre. And I've made a little tag just using the smallest of the stitch dot ovals. We'll put that on there. I'm going to add a little bit of glue in there just to make sure that that ribbon tie is nicely down in place. And there we go. A very simple to make buckle card, just using 4 of the ovals from the set and mixing the colours. And you could carry on with this and build all sorts of different patterns.
And guess what? I've got it here. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, what a fabulous demonstration from our John. And what a beautiful card that you can make and create. And if you do make and create this with your dies, maybe you want to do it different colours. Well, we've got a collection here of linen card for you. This is a pick and mix. You can choose any 4. You get 40 sheets in total, choosing 4 because there are 10 sheets per colourway. £11.99. It's a great price, isn't it? 964983. Now, I've chosen my 4 colours. I think I'd go for these, actually. I did say the black last time, but I like these. I like the blue, I like the grey, I like the lemon, and I like the white. I love the texture that's on there as well. Something a little bit different. So if you are using white, for example, not only will you have great shapes to mat and layer with, but you'll also have that great texture as well. 40 sheets in total. You get 10 sheets per colourway, and it's a choice of 4. So if I was going to go for 4, those would be the 4 that I went for. Said 4 quite a few times there. 4. Right, 983 is your item number. Let's have a look at the website. This is where you can see all of the dies. Now, you can buy them individually if you want to. £22.99 per set. However, because they work perfectly together, the stitched dot and the regular, then why don't you go for both sets with the one-day special? You are having that great saving. Now, you can buy them in pairs if you want to, and you can have a look at the other stamp and die sets that we've got for you on the show. And remember, anything that comes from John Lockwood has been engineered and designed in such a way that it makes it so easy to use, and you get perfect results each and every time. That's what we love about John. Oh my word, we've had a busy launch. We really, really have. Supposed to last 24 hours, but 60% of the stock has now gone. That's of the complete collection. The details on your screen, 938056. 115 dies in total. Oh my word. Now you're saving £25.99 as a Freedom member. You could divide that cost into 3 as well if you want to. And it works out to be, yeah, 86 pence per die. Oh my word. I've got some samples to show you that will show off to you the mathematics of these dies, because you've got that exact size that matches each and every one. This is a lovely way of building up. Gives you that effect of it just coming out like that. Or maybe you're looking into it. I do like that. I really, really do. And as John said, with the rectangles as well, you've got the correct size, the 4x6 or the 6x4 for your photos. And I'm sure you've got many of those, I have, in drawers and boxes upstairs. Get them out and make and create your own frames for your artwork. So it's great for your card making. It's great to put an aperture on your cards, to put a sentiment in there, to build your flowers around, but it's also really nice to have that double aperture as well. So you've got the lovely stitchy dots on there which add the detail. This is a nice one. That's a clever idea, isn't it? That's really nice. So you've got your base card, you've got your layer with the stitch dots, and then just tilting the other one just to the side. Really like that. That's something very, very different. Here's a lovely sample as well that's just on the display. And this is a very, very clever idea. Isn't that good? Let me turn this to the side so you get an idea of exactly how this has been made and created. With that acetate on the back and then stuck with the hexagon, as you can see, builds up the layers, but around the front, how beautiful is that? And you've got that lovely 3D aspect with that. Very nice. Adding flowers to any cards makes it look absolutely glorious, doesn't it? And this is another lovely example of that. So I believe this was using the first one-day special that John introduced when the squares were available. And this is using the one-day special deal that we've got for you today, using the hexagons. So if you're going for the complete collection or the hexagons separately, you could build and create those 2 designs that we've just showed you there. I've got some more samples as well. Lots of samples from the design team. Oh, this is lovely. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is by Sheila. Very nice with that feather on the side. But with the dies, you've got the confidence. You've got the confidence to build the shapes, to build the layers, knowing that they're going to match perfectly each and every time. That's lovely, isn't it? So that's the hexagon, but just slightly different. You can see that, very pretty, love that. That was also by Sheila. Julie has designed a box using the oval, so that's perfect, isn't it, for the top of that box. If you're thinking how to decorate, just make or create the box. You can do that as crafters, or you might have some, and then you can add that oval onto the top, and you'll see that stitchy dot just around the top. It's lovely, isn't it? And you can also use these dies. I'll even cut out your felt as well. Very, very busy. You choose, you decide. If you just want one set, you're more than welcome to do it. If you want 2 sets, you're more than welcome to that. But most of you are going for the whole set that we've got for you, because it's a great deal. You can divide the cost over 3 months, but all the products will be sent out in one go. So it makes sense, doesn't it? You might have wanted the rectangles this month and maybe go for the ovals next month and then the hexagons the month after that. Don't wait 3 months, spread the payment over 3 months, but get all of your products in one go. 938056. Thanks to John for the demonstrations for this hour. We're back with the one day special at 8 o'clock, but check out your basket. Stay where you are.